Madden NFL 07 features a brand new way to run the football. We've added new running controls that will allow you to juke, shake, and plow through defenders like never before. Using the highlight stick is the best way to beat the defense. When running with the ball, the right analog stick can be used to do a variety of fake out or power moves. In this tutorial, Sean Alexander will showcase the different moves on the highlight stick. The most basic type of fake is the juke move. Pressing the right analog stick to the left or right will juke in the specified direction. This is a great way to dodge defenders or quickly maneuver around teammates. Pressing up on the right analog stick offers a variety of moves based on the running style of the ball carrier. Smaller players will have a tendency to use elusive moves, while bigger players will rely on more powerful moves. Players such as Sean Alexander, who are not only agile but also strong runners, will be able to do both elusive and powerful moves. Using a defender's momentum against him is the key to executing a successful back juke. Pressing down on the right analog stick will cause the ball carrier to stop in his tracks and take a quick hop backwards. When done with the right timing, the back juke can be a very satisfying way to leave a defender in the dust. Cut moves are not as good at faking out defenders as juke moves, but they are quicker and they change the direction of the ball carrier. Pressing the L1 button cuts to the left and pressing the R1 button cuts to the right. These moves are especially effective in tight situations where the ball carrier doesn't have enough time for a full juke. Double moves are a more advanced type of fake that consists of chaining two moves together. These moves are the most effective types of jukes, but they take a little more time to develop and they are more difficult to do. To do a double move, juke or cut in one direction and then immediately juke or cut in the opposite direction. Another new dimension of the running game in Madden NFL 07 is the ability to break your own tackles. During some tackles, you'll notice a banner that appears on the screen prompting you to press X to break the tackle. This means that whether or not the ball carrier breaks the tackle relies solely on you. Repeatedly pressing X as fast as possible will give you a better chance of breaking the tackle. But be warned that your opponent will also be doing the same thing in an attempt to bring you down. The faster fingers will decide if the ball carrier wins and plows through the defender, or if the defender wins and brings the ball carrier back down to earth. Learning how and when to use the new running controls will be the key to a strong ground attack. Polish these skills in practice mode and prepare to dominate your opponents on the ground. The dirty work in the trenches can sometimes be the forgotten formula for success. One of the key components to a successful running game is the lead blocker. Throwing the right block at the right time can be the deciding factor in whether or not a play is successful. Lead blocking control in Madden NFL 07 gives you the ability to control the blocker and do the dirty work for yourself. In order to lead block on a play, you must first choose the player that you want to block with before the ball is snapped. Press the circle button to switch through the players until you've selected the player that you would like to use. You'll notice that the screen zooms in to focus on the player that you'll be controlling. Once you have your blocker selected, press the X button to snap the ball. Notice that the camera focuses on your player and you have total control of the blocker. The ball carrier will be controlled by the CPU and will attempt to follow you until a hole opens up. At any time, you can switch to controlling the ball carrier by pressing the circle button and run the ball yourself. Once you have your target sized up, lead blocking controls allow you to choose the type of block that you want to execute. Pressing up on the right analog stick will lay a crushing impact block, similar to the hit stick on defense. The stronger the player you're blocking with, the better chance of an impact block taking out the defender. A perfect complement to the impact block is the cut block. Pressing down on the right analog stick will cause the blocker to throw himself at the feet of the closest defender. If successful, the blocker will take out the legs of the defender and completely take him out of the play. Although not as crushing as an impact block, a cut block can be just as effective if used correctly. Creating a running hole is the ultimate goal of any blocker. Sometimes the best way to do this is to use a turn block. These types of blocks are designed to move a defender in a given direction and create a hole for the ball carrier to run through. Press the L2 button to turn a defender left and the R2 button to turn a defender to the right. Turn blocks work well when playing as an offensive lineman and trying to create a run hole. Desperate times call for desperate measures, which is why if you ever find yourself beat, you might want to consider just reaching out and grabbing. Definitely not the recommended way to do things, but as a last resort, holding isn't always a bad thing. Pressing the L1 button will cause your blocker to reach out and attempt to hold the defender. While there's a very good chance you'll get caught in the act of the crime and penalized, you never know what the officials might not see. Lead blocking isn't always the most glorious job, and the stats don't show up in the stat book. But the difference between a win or a loss could very well come down to how you perform in the trenches. Knowing how and when to use the right types of blocks is going to be key to a strong running game. Madden NFL 07 gives you a new set of tools to help your superstar reach Hall of Fame status. You'll notice a few major changes right off the bat. For starters, your coach will call all the plays this time around, so you can concentrate on playing your role on the field. Once the play has been selected, notice how the camera always moves around your superstar. You will only be able to control him while he's on the field, whether he's passing, blocking, receiving, carrying the ball, or playing defense. If you have already watched the lead blocking tutorial, then you're familiar with how blocking works. Now let's take a look at some other new controls in NFL Superstar Hall of Fame mode. Before the snap, press left or right on the right analog stick. This will help you size up the field and choose a plan of attack. Only quarterbacks can make play calling changes before the snap. If your superstar is an offensive player other than quarterback, the QB will make all the adjustments for you. Once the ball is snapped, you can also look around by pressing left or right on the right analog stick. As long as you can see a receiver, you can throw to him safely. Find the open receiver, let the ball go, and hope for a big gain. If you're running a route, you'll see your intended route on the field at all times. You don't have to run your designated route, but doing so usually results in a better chance for a completion. As a receiver, you can change your camera view before the snap by pressing the camera switch button. You can either look downfield or look directly at the ball while running your route. Experiment with both views and find out which one works better for you. Once the ball is snapped, your primary goal is to shake your defender and get open. You have a variety of cut moves at your disposal. Perform these by pressing the right analog stick in the direction you want to cut. Once you get a step or two on your defender, let the quarterback know you're open by calling for the ball. If the QB decides to throw to you, get ready to make the big grab. Timing and practice are essential to good catching skills, so don't skip out on training camp. If your superstar is on defense, you'll see your assignment pre-play. If you see a circle extending from your superstar, that zone is your responsibility. An orange arrow means it's time to blitz the quarterback. Plow through the pocket and take the QB out before he gets rid of the ball. A red line connected to another player means you need to engage him man-to-man. Stay with him and don't let him become an easy target for the quarterback. If you're manned up on a receiver, press up on the right analog stick before the snap to bump him off the line and throw off his timing. On defense, you can only call audibles once your influence is high enough to earn the role of team captain. If you are not the team captain, the CPU captain will call the audibles for you, and your new assignment will appear on the field. Now that you're familiar with the basics of complete player control, get out there and create a future Hall of Famer. See you in Canton.